S'mores Corner. I am Shahani, and today we will talk about the sentences and non-sentences. I know that there are still people out there who doesn't know the difference between a sentence and a non-sentence, which is also known as a phrase. So in this video, that's exactly what we're gonna learn. So let's not wait any further and let's dive in. So I have examples here. Example letter A is Martha is closing the window. The letter B example is Mr. Malcolm is writing a horror novel. And the example letter C is was laughing. The example letter B is the little boy. So which in the examples do you think is a phrase or a sentence? In the given examples, both the letter A and B are sentences, while the letter C and D are phrases or non-sentences. Now let's discuss what makes a sentence a sentence. So what is a sentence? According to the GrammarMonster.com, that a sentence is a group of words that gives a complete thought. It should contain a subject and a verb. So that said, a sentence is a sentence when it has a subject and a predicate that tells a complete thought. Sentences always starts in a capital letter and ends in a period, question mark, or an exclamation point. So the subject is the noun, pronoun, and noun phrase in the sentence. It is the who and the what. So the predicate is the part of the sentence that contains the verb and describes the subject. This is what the subject is doing. Let's take the sentence in the example A. Martha is closing the window. So in order for us to find the predicate, we need to remember that predicate contains the verb. It is what the subject is doing. You can guess in our sentence that the action word or the verb is closing the window. Therefore, our predicate is closing the window. Now that we identified the predicate, we can easily find the subject in the sentence. We know that the subject is the performer of the action. We can identify our subject by asking who is doing the action. So who is closing the window? The one that closes the window is Martha. Therefore, our subject is Martha. How about the example B? Mr. Malcolm is writing a horror novel. The verb in the sentence is writing. Therefore, our predicate is writing a horror novel. Now, who is writing the horror novel? It is Mr. Malcolm. Therefore, the subject of our sentence is Mr. Malcolm. Now you know what a sentence is. And let's proceed to the non-sentence, or also known as a phrase. So according to the writingexplained.org, a phrase is a group or pair of words that can be short or long but doesn't have a subject or a verb. So a phrase doesn't tell a whole thought because it lacks either a subject or a predicate. So the easiest way to recognize if it's a phrase is it usually starts with a small letter and it doesn't end in a period, exclamation point, or a question mark. Now let's take the example C. Was laughing. We can observe that it starts with a small letter and it doesn't end with a period, exclamation point, or a question mark. Aside from that, what we can only identify is the verb, which is laughing. But we don't know who is laughing. That should be our subject. Therefore, it is a phrase because it only has a predicate or a verb but doesn't have a subject. Another example is example D. The little boy. Now we can identify that the boy is the subject, but we don't see any verb. Because of that, it is also a phrase. Pretty easy, right? But there are also phrases that looks like a sentence. Here is an example. Brewing a coffee is relaxing. You can notice that it starts with a big letter and ends with a period. But let's always remember that a sentence is a sentence when it both have a verb and a subject. Now let's first identify the predicate. What is the action word? Yes, it is brewing. But who is brewing the coffee? As you notice, we can't still find the subject. Therefore, this one is also a praise. Now, you also learn how to identify a praise. Let's have a practice test to test if you really learned something. You can pause this video to answer the questions, and you can play it again whenever you're done. Number 1. The dog barked at the old man. Number 2. Big shoes. Number 3. Uncle Tommy and Aunt Suzanne. Number 4. Susie is cleaning her room. 5. With sadness. Number 6. Playing a hockey. 7. Maria ran to the door. 8. Faye is jumping on a trampoline. 9. Very pretty. And number 10. The boy with short hair. Now, let's answer. Number 1. The dog barked at the old man. Is this a sentence or a non-sentence? Let's find out by finding the subject and the predicate. What is the action here? It is the bark. So our predicate is barked at the old man. And who barked at the old man? Yes, it is the dog. Therefore, our subject is the dog. Number 1 is a sentence because it both have a subject and a predicate. Now let's proceed to the number 2. Big shoes. How about the number 3? Is it a sentence or a non-sentence? Uncle Tommy and Aunt Suzanne. As we can see, we only have the subject but we don't have any verb. Therefore, it is a praise. How about the number 4? Susie is cleaning her room. The action here is cleaning her room, therefore that is our predicate. And who is cleaning her room? Yes, it is Susie, therefore this is a sentence. How about number 5? Is it a sentence or a non-sentence? You're right, it is a non-sentence. How about the number 6? Playing hockey. Is this a sentence or a non-sentence? Let's find out by finding the subject and the predicate. What is the action word? Yes, it is playing. But who is playing hockey? We can't find a subject. Therefore, it is a non-sentence. How about number 7? Maria ran towards the door. As you can see, our predicate is ran towards the door. And who runs towards the door? It is Maria. Therefore, Maria is our subject. Number 7 have both a predicate and a subject. Therefore, it is a sentence. How about the number 8? Faye is jumping on a trampoline. Yes, jumping is the verb. Therefore, our predicate is jumping in the trampoline. And who is jumping in the trampoline? Yes, it is Faye. Therefore, number 8 is also a sentence. How about the number 9? Very pretty. Yes, it is a non-sentence because it doesn't tell a complete thought. How about the number 10? The boy with short hair. Yes, it is again a non-sentence because it only have a subject. Good job! You've done well! Now you know what is the difference between a sentence and a non-sentence. And that's it! I hope you learned a lot from this video.